Hey everyone, my name is Mr. Chris, and welcome back to the laboratory.
Kitty Quest Children's Museum!
Love of learning starts here.
Today, we are going to be making paper airplanes. And now, you may have made normal paper airplanes before, but I'm going to show you a way that we can actually change our paper airplane and make it so that we can add some extra power to it. And so, in addition to paper for folding the airplane, you'll also need at least one rubber band, I have a couple, and a hole punch. If you don't have a hole punch, you can always use a pair of scissors and cut a hole carefully in it. But if you have a hole punch, it does make it easier. So go ahead and grab those materials, and we're going to transition to the table to see how I do it. To make our paper airplane, we start with our piece of paper here, and we're going to take it and we're going to fold it lengthwise. Some people call this hot dog style. An important thing to do whenever we're folding our paper airplane is we want to make sure that we try to get everything lined up as closely as possible. That way it is easiest for us to get nice straight lines. I'm also then, once I open it back up, and I'll fold one corner down, I want this edge to line up with our center line. There we go. Once I get it lined up, I will push it closed. And I'll do the same thing with the other side. Ideally, these should match perfectly, but mine doesn't actually match up perfectly. I have a little bit of difference there, and that's okay. It will still work. Now I can fold it back over. I'm going to take this edge here and fold it to line up with that edge there. And once again, flip it over and do the same thing with the other side. And now that I have this, I'm going to do one more time, taking this long edge here and lining it up with this edge here. So taking it, folding it. And this part, if you want to, this is a good place to do this. You can actually leave some, like maybe a finger's width of space on this fold. You don't actually have to line it up perfectly with the edge here. You can leave some space. So if you see there, I have a line, and I'll show you what that looks like. The important thing is that the two sides line up with each other at this point. So there we go, my sides line up. And so now when I unfurl it, I have a spot that I can grab a hold of down here. So there is my first basic airplane. But I said that we were going to find a way to attach a rubber band to it to help us make it fly faster, better, differently. And so what we're going to do, this is where our hole punch comes in. If we take our hole punch and we slide it on so that I can get a hole punch on the front of my paper airplane, and then I have to really push it here to get mine to work. Get a nice hole punch through there. Now I have a hole. So with that hole, I can take my rubber band and I can feed it through. Ooh. And then we're going to make what's called a lark's head knot. And that is a knot where you take one end of a loop and you put it through the other end of a loop and you pull it tight and it pulls like that. And now we have a knot tied on our plane. And so we'll be able to use this to help us launch our plane. So let's see what that looks like. Time for our test. Let's see if it works. So now I can pull the rubber band out like this. And make sure you have some push with your hand that's holding the rubber band. And you're holding tightly here. Because if you're pulling, then your hand will move out of the way once you start going. So I'm going to pull here and launch it. Ooh, that was really cool. It flew very straight for me. If it isn't flying straight, there's always some things you can change. I'm going to go grab mine and we'll show you. Okay, I got my plane back. If it isn't flying straight, there's some things you can change. You can bend some some of the back tails, and that'll cause it to turn more left or right. If it really wants to turn over a lot, you can push up so that the wings form more of a Y shape. And if it isn't staying aloft very long, you can actually push down to get it a little bit more flat. Okay? There are a lot of other designs of paper airplanes that you can find, and I highly encourage looking some of those up. But with most of them, you can do this trick, where you add a little hole punch, tie on a rubber band, and be able to get it to go much further. Okay? Enjoy your airplanes and all that kind of stuff. And until next time, keep exploring out there. I've been Mr. Chris, and for Kids Quest Children's Museum, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe for more videos, and remember to check out our website for additional activities and information.